Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. So it has been confirmed that Paul Pogba will be benched for our game against Tottenham on Friday and all of that. Of course, Paul Pogba is now fully fit because, like I mentioned to you, he has been doing very, very well in training. Of course, Paul Pogba has not played for Manchester United since our 4-1 win against Newcastle on Boxing Day, and he hasn't played from the start since September, as you know, Paul Pogba. But yeah, so he's going to be benched for the game against Tottenham, but he might come on as a substitution. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's put the Bruno Fernandes partnership on hold. Obviously, we recently played a friendly against West Brom. Well, we played two friendlies against West Brom. We lost to them 2-1, and of course, we did beat them by 3-1. And obviously, Paul Pogba played alongside Bruno Fernandes for the very, very first time and that. Now, like I've said to Bruno Fernandes is key to Paul Pogba's future, because if them two can build a good partnership, then I think, Paul Pogba will commit his long-term future at Manchester United, and he will, end up signing a new long-term contract. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's got a year left on his Manchester United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. As it stands at the moment, Paul Pogba is on just under 300 grand a week on his current contract. So Pogba is one of the highest paid players at Manchester United, and he's also our most expensive signing because we did pay £89 million for the player and that. But more or less now his future has been resolved. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did recently confirm Paul Pogba's and Bruno Fernandes' positions. Now, it did say last week that Paul Pogba will be Manchester United's next number 10. Like I said, Paul Pogba's been deployed as a number 10 several times during his Manchester United career. So it did say Paul Pogba will be playing just behind the central striker, and he will be playing just in front of Bruno Fernandes. It did actually say that Bruno Fernandes will be playing in the number 8 and that, but obviously United fans have got different perceptions on this. Some United fans would keep Bruno Fernandes in number 10 because that's Bruno Fernandes' predominant position and he's more effective from that position. Got to say, Bruno Fernandes has been the player of the year. I think he's actually one of the best players in the Premier League is Bruno Fernandes, and he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. I think Bruno Fernandes has been given the man of the match in every single Premier League game he has played so far with Manchester United. Don't forget, back in February, he won Premier League Player of the Month, reflecting on his good run of performances. We did get Bruno Fernandes in for around £65 million, with add-ons included, and Bruno Fernandes did sign a 5.5-year deal at Manchester United. But revert back to what I said, I think the partnership between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes is gonna work out, but they're not going to play alongside each other on Friday. So I do presume our midfield trio on Friday probably will be Bruno Fernandes, McTominay, and probably Fred. That will be our midfield trio on Friday. So probably Paul Pogba should play against Sheffield United or Norwich in the FA Cup and that. But like I said to Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Like I said, there's been a lot of narratives, coming out saying that Real Madrid have been in for him. Obviously, Real Madrid were relentlessly linked with Paul Pogba last summer. And actually, Paul Pogba's preference was to make a move to Real Madrid last summer. But the main explanation why his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him, because we said last summer we wanted 180 million for Pogba. Real Madrid were not willing to meet this valuation. But yeah, Paul Pogba did want to go to Real Madrid last summer, and he did actually say last summer, Paul Pogba, that he did want to leave Manchester United. Of course, there's been narratives, about him. There's been narratives linking him with a move back to Juventus. Like I said before, Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United have been totally comparison to his ones in Turin. Obviously, there was narratives coming out a couple of weeks ago from League 10 Sport saying that Pogba's open to making a move to PSG. Also, too, Barcelona have been in for him in the past. Like I updated you recently as well, Adnan Januzaj, Paul Pogba's close friend, also a former Manchester United player. He said, that Paul Pogba will stay at Man United beyond this season. But like I've said to you, I haven't really had the perception on Pogba, this season because he's hardly played for the football club. In reality, you can say we made a mistake by getting rid of Pogba when he was younger, because don't forget, we did have Paul Pogba under Alex Ferguson, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. Of course, Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era, but Jose Mourinho anyway has got a bad reputation with the top players. So far Paul Pogba's won 2 trophies at the football club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United and all of that. But I think now Paul Pogba wants to stay at the football club anyway. He really, really doesn't that. And like I said, Paul Pogba has received a lot of criticism as a Manchester United player. I think his biggest critics throughout the course of this season have obviously, been Graham Souness and Roy Keane and that. And, reflecting on that, some people, have advised us to get rid of Paul Pogba. But if we was to sell Pogba anyway, we'd want probably around 140 or 150 million pounds for the player, So hopefully, Paul Pogba, can do well. I really, really doing that. But he's going to be here, I think, for next season. So he isn't going to be playing on Friday against Tottenham. I do presume, though, that Marcus Rashford will be playing on Friday against Tottenham. Really, really looking forward to seeing Marcus Rashford back in action. He's now back from his back injury. Don't forget, Marcus Rashford sustained a back injury in our 1-0 win against Wolves in the FA Cup third round replay, don't forget. And like I said, he has been a big miss because overall Marcus Rashford is one of our best players, and he was one of our best players earlier on in the season, before he sustained that injury, Marcus Rashford. So he's now back, which is very, very good news. But we have now, by the way, got a fully fit squad. There was obviously, reports coming out recently as well. There was reports coming out saying that the Tottenham Man United game on Friday could be in danger. The main explanation is because one of the Norwich players recently got tested positive for coronavirus, and Tottenham recently played Norwich, but Tottenham did confirm that none of their players, had any contact, with that Norwich player that got tested positive. So yeah, the game will definitely, go ahead on Friday. I think Tottenham lost to Norwich, by the way, by 2-1. But it's very, very good now that football is coming back. Like I said, the Premier League's been suspended for around 3 months and that. Obviously, you saw my video that I did this morning. These around 4 targets that Manchester United have to achieve when the football season does resume. And I think, definitely, the FA Cup and the Europa League. That's, something we've got to achieve in that. Because, we are into the last 8 of the Europa League. We're also into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And the FA Cup and the Europa League is a chance of us getting some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. And if we could win both of them, or at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for the Norwegian at Manchester United. Like I said, playing Bruno Fernandes and Pogba in the same team, that's something, of course, we have to achieve as well. Also, too, developing the youngsters. I've credited Solskjaer for this, to be quite honest with you, because I think, he has promoted the youth very, very well. And, the young players have been given their chances throughout the course of this season. Like I said, Mason Greenwood, I've been very, very impressed with him. I've also been very, very impressed with Brandon Williams. But there again, there's some young players that have found game time very, very difficult. Of course, Angel Gomez has found game time hard. Also, too, Tahith Chon's found game time hard, and James Garner, he's also found game time very, very difficult as well and that. So maybe they'll get more opportunities, when the football season does resume. But there's definitely, things to look forward to. Like I said, it's going to be our first time at Tottenham's new ground, so it's our debut there. Of course, Tottenham did pay around £1 billion for their stadium, and I think they are still paying it off now, by the way. Another thing I'm looking forward to is the Champions League race, and this is something else we've got to achieve as well. The top four. It's very imperative that we do finish in the top four, because obviously we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. As it stands at the moment, we are sitting fifth in the Premier League, and we are just 3 points behind Chelsea in that. So yeah, there is 9 games remaining in the Premier League, and there's 92 games to play in all competitions. I think, by the way, Solskjaer's got an idea of what 11 he's going to go with on Friday against Tottenham. He's got a good idea of what 11 he's going to go with, because I think now Solskjaer knows his best 11. I think he's also got an idea, of what formation he's going to go with as well. Solskjaer has been changing formation persistently this season. Actually a lot at the time. This season Solskjaer's been going with a 4-2-3-1 formation. A few times he's gone with a 3-4-1-2. I think in the games against the likes of Chelsea and Man City, he went with a 5-3-2. And a few times he has gone with a 4-3-3. So it's good that, Solskjaer's tried a few different elements in that. He's obviously, had to make a lot of rotation this season, reflecting on the amount of injuries that Manchester United have had in that, But on Friday, Solskjaer going head-to-head again with Jose Mourinho. Of course, Jose Mourinho reuniting with Manchester United. Solskjaer, of course, is looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the second time as a manager. He's already overcome Jose Mourinho once this season, because we beat Tottenham by 2-1 earlier on in the season. I think we have beaten Tottenham twice since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club. So Solskjaer is looking to beat Tottenham for the third time as a manager. Now, don't forget, Jose Mourinho has been talking recently. Reportedly, has been telling people that Solskjaer is out of his depth at Manchester United, and that he's out of his depth at Manchester United. This is, what Jose Mourinho had said. Now, I think, Tottenham, did make a mistake by recommending Jose Mourinho in. Tottenham should have never recommended Jose Mourinho in, because, like I've said to you before, Jose Mourinho is no longer a manager at the top level. He has got a good pedigree behind him, reflects on the amount of silverware and that he's won. But, Tottenham shouldn't have recommended him in, and I think Tottenham did make a bad mistake by recommending getting rid of Mauricio Pochettino. Tottenham, of course, sacked Mauricio Pochettino last year. Pochettino did enjoy 5.5 years with Tottenham and that, And, so they did make a mistake, did Tottenham. Like I said, Tottenham have made signings, since, they appointed Jose Mourinho in. Like I said, they got Gedson Fernandes. They also got Steven Bergwijn. They got Giovanni Lo Celso permanently. There's players they have recruited in as well in recent years, who, of course, they got under Pochettino. Quite a lot of Tottenham's players are actually, Pochettino's who he brought in. Didn't they get Tanguy Ndombele last year? Like I said, Ryan Sessegnon, Serge Aurier. They got Davinson Sanchez quite a few years ago as well. Tottenham, of course, have lost quite a few of their imperative players as well. Don't forget, they lost Danny Rose to Newcastle in January. They also lost Christian Eriksen to Inter Milan. They Tottenham. The bad news is as well, from a Tottenham perspective, like I've already confirmed, that Dele Alli will be missing the game on Friday for them, because don't forget, he'd been given a 1-game suspension from the FA for them coronavirus offensive social media posts, and Dele Alli got fined around £50,000. But the good news is, from a Tottenham perspective, they have got Harry Kane now back, and they've also got Heung-min Son back as well. I'm very confident we can beat Tottenham anyway, because Tottenham have been very inconsistent this season. Well, actually, earlier on in the season, we'd actually enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. But, Tottenham cannot win anything in terms of silverware, because obviously, they're not in the Champions League. They got knocked out by RB Leipzig. They're not in the FA Cup. They got knocked out by Norwich. So from a Tottenham perspective, they know this is a must-win game for them to keep their top 4 ambitions alive. So there you go. In that. And, obviously, before the football season got suspended, you had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming out saying that, you know, a lot needed to be changed at Manchester United when he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. And like I've said to you know, these things that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has changed. I've also definitely seen improvements under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that the improvements I've seen, like a lot of players have improved under him, especially the top players. Also too, we've definitely improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. You know, what I mean is, you know, Solskjaer's like got the players that I wanted to recommend in. You know, we have been a bit more sensible with our recruitment because so far Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the football club and spent just over £200 million on 5 players. Last summer he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he recommended Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo in. He got Ighalo on loan, so obviously at the moment, Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings at the football club. You know, also too as well, another thing I'm impressed with is that, you know, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. You know, I think we have seen a total of 19 players leave Manchester United since Solskjaer came into the football club and all of that. And obviously, yeah, so that's obviously, you know, very, very good as well. Don't forget, you know, before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form, you know, because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. And of course, Solskjaer will want to, continue this good winning run, and hopefully, you know, Man United and Solskjaer can finish the season on a high in that. But things have definitely, you know, changed under Solskjaer. You know, we did have Jose Mourinho for 2.5 years. You know, he did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United and that, but I've already given you the main explanations why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho. You know, obviously, you know, Jose Mourinho, in his 2.5 years at Man United, you know, spent, was it 400 million or just under 400 million pounds? He recommended 11 players into the football club. There's only a few players that have left who Jose Mourinho brought in, so the vast majority of these players that we've got now are Jose Mourinho's, and put into the equation, you know, Solskjaer is inheriting them. So there you go, and all of that. So yeah, so that is the latest news on all of that, and you know, like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how we approach the summer transfer window. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how we approach the summer transfer window. You had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming out last week, saying that, you know, he will avoid buying rotten apples in the squad. And he did, you know, warn our players that he will not tolerate any rotten apples in the squad. So basically, you know, Man United are looking to sign players in the image of Solskjaer and his coaching staff. I'm still very adamant that Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer, because obviously, you know, 3 of the 5 players he's recommended in so far, they are, of course, British. Now, I think, you know, we can enjoy a successful summer transfer window. Now, it does remain uncertain at the moment, you know, when the summer transfer window is going to open, because I don't think, like, a date's been announced as yet. But I think the vast majority of our top 6 rivals aren't even going to be in the summer transfer market. You know, probably Liverpool aren't going to be in it, City, Tottenham, Arsenal. So we need to take advantage of this. I've already made an admission regarding Chelsea. You know, Chelsea have done really, really good business so far. Of course, they got Hakim Ziyech in February from Ajax for around 37 or 38 million. I think they're on the verge of getting Werner, or they already got Werner on the board. You know, Timo Werner is Frank Lampard's second signing as Chelsea manager. Obviously, you know, they want to get Ben Chilwell on the board as well. You know, Chelsea, you know, have been also trying to get Kai Havertz. So Chelsea, you know, have done very, very good business so far. You know, but we need to get the right caliber players into the football club in the summer transfer window. Obviously, you know, to compete, you know, with the likes of City and Liverpool. And I hope, you know, that we can be title contenders next season, because, you know, this has been the 7th season now. This has been the 7th season that we failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. So that just indicates how inconsistent we have been for the last 7 years or so. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season and all of that. But, obviously our transfer budget for the summer has been revealed anyway. It said recently, that Solskjaer is going to be given around £269 million to spend in the summer transfer window. £269 million should be enough for us, to get the number of players that we want in. And it should be enough for us, to get the right calibre players into the football club. Let's put into the equation as well. We are going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. We're going to get rid of players. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window, maybe even more than that. So we're going to generate money that way. I think in the summer transfer window, we're going to get rid of Phil Jones. We're looking to get rid of Lingard and Pereira. We're looking to get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers as well. So yeah, so we can generate, money by getting rid of players in the summer transfer window and that. But Solskjaer, has already said, he wants to make around 3 major signings or 4 major signings at the end of the season. But Solskjaer knows that he's got the backing of Ed Woodward, because Ed Woodward has said on quite a few occasions this season he's willing to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is what, Ed Woodward has said. And he's also assured that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. I think the things that have saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job, obviously the sign of Bruno Fernandes, he definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job. And the wins against the likes of City and Tottenham, earlier on this season, you can also say that saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United as well. You can also say that. But, so Solskjaer, has got the backing of Ed Woodward. He hasn't only got the backing of Ed Woodward, he's also got the backing of the Glazers as well. I'd give Solskjaer at least another season at Manchester United and give him at least a couple of more transfer windows, because it is a transition period. And if things don't work out under Solskjaer next season, that's when I would get rid of him. So far, Solskjaer's been at the football club for 18 months, so he has been here a year and a half, including the 3 months when he was the interim manager. I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around, 15 or 16 months and all of that. But it does take, time for some managers, to get things right and to settle in. United fans have got different verdicts on Solskjaer. Some United fans think he's the foreseeable future for the club and he can get us back to where we want to be. And some United fans don't think, he suits the strappings of the club, despite the fact that he is a club legend. Some United fans, think, we need a manager who will suit the strappings of the club, and we need a manager at the top level, such as like a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola and that. But we need to stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for now and that. But the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. Obviously, the other month, Ed Woodward came out and, he did say, Ed Woodward, that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So Ed Woodward basically ruled out big transfers to the football club. He said, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds. But Woodward said, we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market. As you all know, at the moment, our net debt is just over 429 million, because it did confirm quite a few weeks ago that our debt had risen up by almost 130 million. There were stories coming out a few weeks ago as well, saying that we'd taken a £140 million loan from the 150 million revolving credit facility, to help us through the coronavirus crisis and to help us get the right calibre players into the football club and that. Like I've said to you as well, there's decisions that Manchester United have got to make, and I said, didn't I, the other week, that Solskjaer has a few selection dilemmas ahead of the Premier League restart and that. There's probably decisions we've got to make for next season as well. Obviously, there's a bit of a dilemma at left back, to be honest with you. Obviously, we've got Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams, who are our left backs. Obviously, Luke Shaw is our first choice left back at the moment. I think for the remainder of this season, he'll probably remain our first choice left back with Luke Shaw. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that, he is injury prone. That's my only element of concern about Luke Shaw, though. Also, Brandon Williams, this has been Brandon Williams' first season in the senior squad. So Luke Shaw will remain it for now because obviously Luke Shaw, he's more experienced than Brandon Williams. I think goalkeeping decisions it's already been made for the remainder of this season, obviously, but next season, actually, Dean Henderson could be our number one. We'll see what happens. I gave you the news on Dean Henderson yesterday, didn't I? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out and said that he expects Dean Henderson to be England's number one goalkeeper and Manchester United's number one goalkeeper for the future. Now, Chris Wilder, the Sheffield United boss, he's come out and said that Sheffield United are close to extending Dean Henderson's loan. He will remain on loan with Sheffield United for the remainder of the season. There has been talks as well saying that Dean Henderson could go on loan for the third season with Sheffield United. This has been Dean Henderson's second season on loan with Sheffield United, and I've got to say he has been a revelation. He's been Sheffield United's player of the season, has Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson has got a contract with us until 2022, but Dean Henderson's had quite a few loan spells with Shrewsbury, Stockport and Grimsby and that, but for now, David De Gea will remain our number one. We've also got to make a decision on Angel Gomez as well. We've got a couple of weeks now to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. There was reports coming from The Athletic recently saying that, Angel Gomez is close to signing a new contract because we've had breakthrough in negotiations. Reportedly, the new contract we've offered Angel Gomez is around £25,000 per week. Obviously, we've put forward a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but he has turned these down. But no agreement, as far as I'm aware at the moment, no agreement has been reached, for Angel Gomez. I think we've also made a decision on Diego Dalot and Bay. We're intending on keeping Bay and Dalot at the football club. Obviously, there was reports coming out a few weeks ago saying that Barcelona and PSG were interested in Dalot. Dalot hasn't really played this season due to his injuries. His appearances have been, limited, due to the few injuries he's had. Yeah, he's our backup right back to Anwan Bissaka. Anwan Bissaka is our first choice right back. And with Bay, we don't want to sell Eric Bay anyway, because he's a very, very good centre-half. He's Bay. My only element of concern about Eric Bay, that he's very, very injury prone. We've got a lot of centre-halves in the team. It's obviously Lindelof and Maguire that are our first choice centre-halves, but Lindelof is now facing competition from the likes of Eric Bay and Alex Tuanzebe and all of that. So there you go. And that. But like I said, give Solskjaer more time at the football club. Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. We have seen three managers sacked since Ferguson's retirement, and that was David Moyes. Moyes endured 9 months at the football club. Moyes should have been never recommended in. Alex Ferguson was at the fault for ever recommending David Moyes in the first place. But the main explanation why I recommended him in is because they was both Scottish. Then Moyes when Van Gaal came in, he endured 2 years at the club. He did win the FA Cup with Man United, did Louis Van Gaal. And also to Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United and got sacked. So we haven't, really got the, the structure to keep sacking managers, we really, really haven't in that. Because Man United are not known for a sacking football club. But like I said, we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Like I said, Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United, and, the vast majority of our success came under him. I think, Ferguson won 38 major honours as Manchester United manager, developed a lot of young players as well. Of course, though, Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because Alex Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club and that. But regardless of who our manager is anyway, no one's going to replicate Ferguson's legacy. No one's going to ever last as long, as Alex Ferguson did. But I am determined to back Solskjaer, definitely. I'm very, very determined to back him. Of course, I was very, very critical of him. I've been very, very critical of him, for the vast majority of this season. A lot of Man United fans have been very, very critical of him. But there's been explanations why we've been very, very critical of Solskjaer. But, I haven't only been critical of him, I've been critical of Woodward. I've been critical of the Glazers. Not only this season, I've been critical of them, though. I've been critical of Ed Woodward and the Glazers for several years. Reflecting on how the club's been run for the last 7 years. Also reflects on how poor our recruitment policy's been, and just overall some of the decisions that have been made are just not right. So there you go now. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.